Portfolio.com.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
Stephen Covey once said, "Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender, it's holy ground, and there's no greater investment." I certainly agree with that one. We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. This week, we're talking about culture. And this week, we will be joined by guests Dr. Joe Silberman, Shannon Fanima, and Dan Proft. And I'll be sharing tips on how to identify organizations to get involved with. It's a live show. You can call us at 312-642-5600. That number one more time is 312-642-5600. Joined here in studio by Evanston dentist Dr. Joe Silberman. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Shalom.
So you are all about helping people smile and make a good first impression.
It's all about the first impression, Shalom.
That's great. So how long have you been a dentist?
Actually, this is my 30th year of being a dentist. I can't believe how fast it's gone.
Wow, that's fantastic. And are you a native Chicagoan?
Originally from New Jersey. I practiced out east for about a year before I met my lovely wife, moved to Chicago, and the rest is history.
Do people smile better here or in the East Coast?
Oh, Chicago's smiles are much better.
Oh, I love it.
Much more relaxed. It's a good thing.
So first and foremost, above and beyond being a dentist, you're a small business owner. Tell us a little bit about that experience. Do you have any lessons that you've learned along the way that you'd be able to share with our listeners?
Well, in my small business, I consider myself a customer service-oriented business. And I think the most important thing from myself and my business's perspective is really developing relationships with patients. It's not just going to the dentist and getting your teeth fixed. It's really developing that relationship, and I think that's really important for my small business in developing those relationships and being able to nurture those relationships over time. I
noticed on your website, and of course we will share your URL for your website towards the end of the program. I noticed that you're very proud of your team. You've got a good staff, and I noticed one of your staff worked for you, then I think started coming back and now works for you a little bit more. That probably is indicative of the culture, which we're going to talk a little bit more about during Get Down to Business. It's probably indicative of the good culture that you've created. Tell us a little bit about your office. How many people are there? Tell us the story of your business.
Well, I started the office. I bought a practice that was there the practice was there itself for about 20 years prior to me getting there. 1992, I purchased the practice and have been there ever since. There are actually two staff members that have been with me, left for a period of time, and came back. And the office basically was the same. I was reminded by my wife about a story I told her when we first met, that when I have a practice, one day when I own a practice, I wanted it to be a certain level of practice and a certain caring attitude in that practice. And I think what we're trying to do is every day we're trying to work on that. And it helps in terms of having the staff members be on board with that. And by them coming back, they came back to the same culture that they left when they first did leave.
Your office is in Evanston. Whereabouts?
Downtown Evanston, on the corner of Davis and Hinman Avenue, basically right in the heart of downtown Evanston.
Great location. That's fantastic. So you are a dentist after all, so I have to ask you a few fun questions. As we're sitting here in the studio, so there's TVs playing in the background, and I'm a politico. I like to read political stories, watch the State of the Union. Are there any public speakers or elected officials that you look at and say, gosh, their smile is ugly, or gosh, we need to learn something from those people?
Okay, it's actually interesting. To me, my biggest pet peeve is when people actually fix their teeth, and what they think they're fixing is really not right, because what they're doing is they're fixing their top teeth, and they don't fix their bottom teeth, thinking that no one's going to see it. But meanwhile, I can think of one guy, Howard Stern. There's a show on TV, America's Got Talent or something. So when he smiles, next time he smiles big, take a look at his lower teeth. His lower teeth are yellow. His top teeth are fixed. They're white. So I just hate that. So we obviously, when you're in the spotlight, you need to make sure that your entire smile looks good.
If Howard Stern is listening to this program, does he have an invitation to give you a call
Absolutely.
To fix up those other teeth too?
Anytime.
Okay, good. Anybody that you look at with pride and you say, "Gosh, they're doing it right. They fixed their teeth and it looks good."
I don't know if he's fixed his teeth, but George Clooney looks pretty good.
Ah, that's good. That's fantastic.
Yeah, his teeth look good, and he looks good too. My wife she'll attest to that too.
How many people have come through your practice over the several decades that you've now been doing this?
I'm sure I've had thousands of people come through the practice. Being in Evanston, it's a great location. A lot of professors from Evanston come through, and they come and go sometimes. A lot of students at Kellogg, which is right down the street, they come and go sometimes too. So I've had a lot of people come in, and it's somewhat transient to a certain degree. I see a lot of students as well, and obviously they come and go too.
So let's talk about students. We talk a lot about jobs on this program. We talk a lot about people that are trying to get into their first position, and then, of course, many people that are trying to reinvent themselves. So students, let's talk about Northwestern University because your office is right over there. What advice do you have for students, both cosmetically, I guess, regarding their appearance, but also career advice do you have for students that are looking to get their first job to make a fantastic first impression?
Well, this is America. We're not in England, and we care about how our teeth look. And from an appearance standpoint, when we smile, our smile shows confidence. Our smile shows confidence in ourselves, in our abilities. So by maintaining that beautiful smile, whether it's straight teeth, whiter teeth, teeth that are cared for and looking that they're cared for, those are all bonuses. They're all positives in terms of making that good impression. Of course, you want to make that good first impression. And I think that goes a long way in making that good first impression.
And you've interviewed a lot of people. You have people working for you. You are, after all, a small business owner. So you have people working for you. Have you seen any comments made in a career interview? They'd say, "Gosh, please don't ever do that again," or "Gosh, if I heard that was so impressive. That was amazing." What career advice do you have for the networkers that might be listening to this program?
I think the most important thing is being yourself. You be yourself during an interview, and you don't try to answer a question that you think they want the answer to. You answer it honestly, because people tend to not know what the interviewer is asking and what they're trying to get at. So by trying to assume what that answer might be, may be the wrong way to go.
And does that same advice hold true cosmetically, that be yourself, be who you are? Don't try to fix too much, or tell me your advice on that.
So in general, when I fix people's teeth, my goal in fixing their teeth is for a friend of theirs to say to them, "Wow, so-and-so, you have really nice teeth," versus, "Wow, so-and-so, who's your dentist?" See, to me, the biggest faux pas, the biggest problem that people have when they get their teeth fixed and they have quote-unquote cosmetic dentistry done is they look like they've been to a dentist to get their cosmetic dentistry done. And to me, that doesn't make sense. You want people to have nice-looking teeth and healthy-looking teeth without the knowledge of them having been to a dentist to get those teeth fixed.
That makes sense. Once again, we're talking with Dr. Joe Silberman of Evanston Dental Associates. Really appreciate you coming out to the program, and this is a great lead into our next guest. We're excited after a few quick announcements. We're going to have Shannon from the Culture Index, and we're going to talk a little bit about culture. And as you said, be yourself, and there's no point in inventing yourself into somebody who you're not. Dr. Joe Silberman has a practice in Evanston, downtown Evanston, works with a lot of people, both Evanston residents, probably Evanston students, and folks from near and far. So thank you so much for coming on the show. How can people reach out to you if they want to learn more?
Well, my website is evanston-dental.com, or they can call me at 847-864-2243. My email is drjoe@evanston/dental.com, and I'm available, and I'm great with emails, and we're glad to have you on board.
Fantastic. Dr. Joe, thanks for joining us on Get Down to Business. Once again, you could find him online at evanston-dental.com. After the break, once again, we're talking with Shannon of Culture Index. Really excited to talk about culture. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com or call 630-928-0510. You can also email them, simplify@tandemhr.com. Once again, their phone number is 630-928-0510. Get Down to Business is also brought to you in part by Everett Wealth Solutions, a registered investment advisor and financial planning firm, a fiduciary advisor that helps you create your personal wealth. You can find them at everettwealthsolutions.com or call 708-771-7777. Their phone number at Everett Wealth Solutions is 708-771-7777. At the end of the program, I'm going to be sharing some tips on which organizations you should get involved with as you continue your networking journey. That's right, you're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Don't touch that dial.